kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Welcome to Humanist TV Africa. Welcome to Humanist TV Africa. This is Katom Kasa, your host. In the studio is Dennis Bongole to do the justice in production. Of course, I want to remind you that this is a charity organization. We are a media organization registered as a charity to do media work throughout the world. As I speak right now, we have studios in Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, UK, and the USA. You can contact us. Our emails are right there, info@humanistv.com. Our email is there. Our website is right there, www.humanisttvafrica.com. You can also find us on TikTok, WhatsApp. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, and you can find us on the website and YouTube. Our name is the same, Humanist TV Africa. Now, one of our major objectives as a TV station is to empower our people with knowledge, to educate our people, to empower them as we empower ourselves, to learn from them as we learn from everyone else that can give us this information. Now, when we have the information, we want to share it with you. We want to empower ourselves out of poverty. Information is power. Knowledge is power. And this is why we are here. Today, we are talking about country profiles. And in it, we are going to handle Mozambique. Mozambique, a very interesting country in the we can call it a country in southeastern Africa. Southeastern Africa, it has a coastline that goes up to the Indian Ocean. It is bordering Tanzania. It is bordering Zambia, Zimbabwe. It is bordering South Africa and Eswatini. Very interesting country. It's a very big country. Let's have a look at the maps of Mozambique and the bigger picture of it. Dennis, I'll be out here. Yes, this is Mozambique. Mozambique, a very, very lovely country. People wonder, why does Mozambique has a gun in their map? One of the few countries in the world, there are about 5 countries in the world with a gun in their map. Mozambique is one of those countries with a gun. Look at that gun. Why the gun? Mozambique fought for the independence from the Portuguese. Mozambique was under the slavery, the occupation, and the thuggery of the Portuguese. The Portuguese ruled and stole wealth from Mozambique for so many years. For so many years, the Portuguese were there. Of course, we can say from the 16th, from the 15th century, the Portuguese were in Mozambique and other areas around there. And of course, they were the guys in charge of Mozambique. They, in fact, gave the name Mozambique to Mozambique. The name is got from, it was called Mocambique. Mocambique. The name was called Mocambique, given to Mozambique by the Portuguese and derived from either Musa bin Bik or Musa al-Bik or Musa al-Bik, Musa ben Bik. Those are the guys people think gave the name Mozambique to Mozambique. Those were Arab traders who first visited Mozambique as an island and later called it a country, gave this name to a country, Mozambique. And of course, the Portuguese maintained this name. Now, Mozambique is one of those countries in Africa that is endowed with so much, yet with so many people in poverty. Can you imagine that Mozambique is one of the poorest countries in the world, ranked 181 out of 189 countries when you go on the Human Development Index. Mozambique, the East African country, the Eastern Southern African country, Southeast African country, has a population of about 32 million people. That is according to 2022 census. Life expectancy in Mozambique is low at 57 years of age. People die, and population density is about 40 people per square kilometer in Mozambique. Mozambique is much known for the statistics, which I want to give you right there. On your screen, we said Mozambique has about 32 million people. Actually, the latest shows there are almost 33 million people in Mozambique. And population growth is quite impressive at 2.7 annually. And of course, age dependency ratio is 85.5. Age dependence. So you can imagine the dependents in Mozambique are quite many. Now, urban population is about 38%. 38% of the people in Mozambique basically stay in urban areas, including Maputo. Now, infant mortality rate is quite high at 51%. No, 51 per 1,000 live births. 51 per 1,000 live births is quite a threatening rate of death here. Life expectancy at birth is 59 years, which is threatening. Let us look at other statistics of Mozambique. Of course, the people within the age of 0 to 14, those are quite many, which means that a big size of this population is actually between 15 to 64 years, which is the working class. There are many people in the working class between 15 to 64 years, and of course, the aged ones are only 3% if you round it off. Now, that is Mozambique in terms of population distribution, and of course, we look at production. Where is the money coming from? So Mozambique, the electricity, we can see in terms of electricity, what they can produce in billion kilowatts and what they can consume. You can see they can produce 19 billion, they can consume 13, which means they are able to export some of their electricity. And this one earns them billions of money. And of course, imports are right there also in terms of power. They can produce some, but also export some, but again, ironically, import some. Now, when you look at natural gas, Mozambique has natural gas, production there of natural gas per gross in terms of billion is that much. And of course, consumption, that is 201 billion production of natural gas, but of course, their consumption is only 47. You can imagine, which means that Mozambique exports much of its gas. 140 billion of its gas, dry gas, is exported. And of course, imports are zero. When it comes to importing gas, Mozambique has gas. This is really a good thing for Mozambique. Let us look at other statistics. Airports here, in terms of technology, we are seeing a good number right there. Cellular telephones, we see about 14 million people there having cellular telephones, which we call hand-in telephones, in mobile phones. Highways are quite many. Of course, they have been building roads, 31,000 kilometers they are built. Internet users, about 4.5 million people, almost 5 million people in Mozambique use the internet, which is a bit impressive. Railways, the coverage is about 4,787 kilometers going by 2014 observation and figures. Now, that is Mozambique. Now, I'll give you a bit of other statistics, geography, and environment. This is a southern Eastern African country. Remember, I told you Mozambique is southern Eastern African country, bordering Mozambique. Of course, Mozambique Channel between South Africa and Tanzania. This is how it is. The total area of Mozambique is 791,938 square kilometers. And that is 79,938, 380. 799,380 square kilometers. Land area is 786,380 square kilometers, and of course, water area is 13,000 square kilometers. The coastline covers about 2,470 kilometers. Climate there is much of it tropical climate. That's why we are into the sub-Saharan Africa, tropical climate. Basically, the coastline is quite big, as you can see, and of course, the terrain is good. And most of it is coastal, lowlands, uplands in center, high plateaus in northeast, and of course northwest are mountains in the west. The lowest point there is the Indian Ocean. That's the lowest point when you look at the map of Mozambique. Now, Mozambique has other very impressive history. Give me the minute. I'll be explaining a bit of the history of Mozambique. I told you Mozambique was under the captivity of the colonialists, who are the Portuguese. The Portuguese took over Mozambique. The Portuguese, of course, took over Angola, and we know how they exploited these countries for so many years. Now we know that the Portuguese took over Mozambique until from the 1530s. They took over Mozambique from the 1530s. Thank you for the map there. Until 1975. You can imagine how many years were Mozambique people under the Portuguese occupation and thuggery and exploitation, you know. And of course, Mozambique had to fight. That's why they have that gun in the map, in the flag. The gun is a symbol of resistance. Thank you so much for the map. The gun in the map of Mozambique is a symbol of resistance. They have been resisting the Portuguese since 1530s. 16th century, they were fighting the Portuguese. They only got rid of the Portuguese in 1975 with the leadership of Frelimo. Frelimo was a Mozambican war of independence leader. They used an army under the Frelimo, the armed conflict between the guerrillas, who were the Frelimo, Mozambique Liberation Front, Frelimo, which fought the Portuguese. And these were led by none other than a leader called Samora Moise Machel. Samora Moise Machel, who was born on the 29th of September 1933, and of course died on 19th October 1986. So Samora Moise Machel is the first president of Mozambique. He's the guy who ensured that Mozambique got independence. He became a leader on the 25th of June 1975 and died 19th October 1986. And of course, he left power. But this man, who was more of a Marxist-Leninist leader, was more known for his Marxism views that he embedded in Mozambique. Socialist kind of leader. He was a very strong guy, Samora Machel, that guy there. He's one of the guys that led Mozambique to independence. Now, Mozambique remains a very interesting country. We're going to look at other maps of the wealth of Mozambique. I told you that the dead body. Look at the wealth of Mozambique in this map. You can see what Mozambique has right there. Mozambique actually has minerals which are highly coral, high quality coal, thermal coal. It has graphite, iron ore, titanium, apatite, marble, bentonite, basalt, iron, copper. Mozambique has gold, by the way. Mozambique has gold. Show us other maps, please. Mozambique has gold, has rubies, has tantalum. Mozambique has one of the untapped coal reserves in the world. In fact, they say Mozambique holds some of the world's largest untapped coal deposits. We are talking about Russia with coal. Mozambique has coal, one of the most untapped coal deposits in the world can be seen in Mozambique. And Mozambique, with a population of only 32 million people, you can imagine that half of this population basically is under poverty. And we are saying that the external debt of Mozambique is 71% of the GDP of Mozambique. They are into debt. They have been getting loans. Mozambique, despite having coal, despite having gold and diamonds, despite having all these minerals, actually Mozambique is debt burdened with 71% of the GDP being into debt. Now the external debt is 81%. The external debt has been actually increasing year by year. Now let us look at other tourism areas of Mozambique. We are saying that Mozambique, the ethnic groups, you can see the tourist areas of Mozambique are quite many, like this one. Because remember, Mozambique uses Portuguese as a language, so most of these names, tourist areas are into Mozambique. Now, when you go to Mozambique, you are going to go to Paroco Santo Ano, you're going to go to Maputo Elephant Reserve, you're going to go to the Tumayo Reef, you're going to go to Machila, Magik, Paku National de Bazul, national parks. You are going to visit the Iron House. You're going to visit Musu de Hostel National, de Maputo. And of course, Mozambique has quite a number of water bodies. Remember, it is partly part of the Indian Ocean right there, which gives them a very beautiful, magnificent view. You know, you go to Mozambique, have all these beaches around the water, people on water and they're enjoying that kind of life of the water on the ocean. That is Mozambique. Mozambique has animals. Talk about all those animals in the world that are good to watch. Mozambique has these animals: the elephants, the lions, the cheetah, the leopards. Mozambique has all these animals that you want to watch, and they are so beautiful animals. The wild dogs, Mozambique has all these animals. The lions are quite there in big numbers. The buffaloes, the rhinos, all these animals can be seen in Mozambique. The giraffes, all these animals can be seen in Mozambique. Quite many, very lovely photos there of the tourism sector in Mozambique. The giraffes, the zebras, all these animals can be seen in Mozambique. Remember that Mozambique also has tribes which are very, 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 very interesting. It has ethnic groups like Makua, Songa, Makonde, Shangan, Shona, Sena, Ndau, and other indigenous groups, which is approximately 10,000 people of those indigenous groups. Of course, Europeans in Mozambique are about 35,000, Euro-African about 15,000, and of course there are 1,000 Asians there in Mozambique. Now, we have indigenous groups, we have these other groups out of intermarriages, and we have many of the Bantu people right there. These are the areas of attraction. If you go to Mozambique, you'll be able to watch in most of these areas. This is a former Portuguese colony. Therefore, Portuguese is the national language, though a few people speak English. They are people of culture, higher culture. I told you there are many Bantu people in Mozambique, people of culture. There are people who love dances. There are people who love their liberation. There are people who cook food, which is more from the garden. Mozambique is highly agriculture-based country. Whatever they get is from the soils. Just like the rest of sub-Saharan Africa, it is the soil. They love their culture. They love their tattoos and decorations. You see these beautiful ladies of Mozambique, the way they love to beautify themselves. They love dances. They love dances much like the rest of sub-Saharan Africa. They love group dances. They love. They are more of a poetic rhymes here, poets in Mozambique. They love a lot of group dances, a lot of group songs, thematic songs, which have begun with their freedom liberation struggles. There are people who can shed their bodies with all these kind of things when they are doing their initiation rituals, rite rituals. The women right there. There are people with a class of happiness. Samana Machel, I told you, is the first president of Mozambique. Of course, there were other presidents, but the current one is a man we know as Felipe. Felipe there is the current president of Mozambique there, and he has been in power. The current president of Mozambique, Felipe Jacinto Nyusi. He has been was born on 9 February 1959. He is the Mozambican politician serving since 2015. As the first president of Mozambique, he is the current leader of the Frelimo, the party that have governed Mozambique since its independence from the Portuguese in 1975. One party rule. They only change leaders, just like Tanzania, just like Angola, one party rule since independence. But Mozambique has been largely peaceful. That is Mozambique. Very interesting country, and a lovely literature to know about Mozambique. It's a country I would say go and visit Mozambique. Very good beaches, very friendly environment, very fertile soil. Mozambique has all these crops we talk about. They are grown in Mozambique. The people are very friendly. They are very welcome. Despite lack of money in their pockets, people in Mozambique are friendly. They are still basing on agriculture to survive. It's a country that I would say go and visit and spend some time there, and also consider visiting and investing in Mozambique. Remember, this is country profile as a program, and this is Mozambique for today. We shall be back with yet another country to give you a profile and an insight inside Africa that you don't get anywhere else. This is Katom Mukasa for Humans TV Africa. See you in the next one.
Tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu, tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika, chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni